People said to me, the one thing that they heard over and over again, that you were the one that led Whitney to heavy.
Well,
That you were the one.
it wasn't me. It started her.
It's the music industry, baby, and the drama never stops here. Bobby Brown has finally broken his silence, and what he just revealed about Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina is sending shockwaves across the industry. You won't believe this. I want the world to know that Bobbi Kristina did not die from the bathtub incident. That's not what Bobbi Kristina was starved to death. This isn't just about a bathtub accident. It's deeper, messier, and way more intriguing. Let's dive into the juicy details you need to know. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. The shocking footage shows Bobby Brown finally revealing what he believes happened to his ex-wife, Whitney Houston, and their daughter, Bobbi Kristina. The R&B legend doesn't mince words when he says, "It's not a mystery to me. The same thing that happened to my daughter is what happened to Whitney." When asked directly who he's referring to, Bobby hesitates before saying, "There's only one person that was around both occasions." While he stops short of saying the name, the interviewer confirms, "Nick Gordon is who you're referring to which Bobby nods gravely. Nick Gordon, Bobbi Kristina's ex-partner, has always been at the center of this mystery. Following Bobbi Kristina's hospitalization, a court-appointed conservator filed a lawsuit against Gordon for causing her substantial bodily harm and stealing money by pretending to be her husband. "This is a young man who swears to God that he loves my niece, but yet you drag her up the steps, you pull her by her hair, and you punch her in the face and you knock 2 of her teeth out of her mouth," a family member stated at the time. The lawsuit was later amended to accuse Gordon of causing Bobbi Kristina's wrongful death. Though Gordon denied the allegations and even suggested Bobby Brown was to blame, a judge ultimately ordered him to pay $36 million to Bobbi Kristina's estate after he failed to appear for court proceedings. According to those close to her, Bobbi Kristina had been planning to move to Los Angeles to be closer to her father and focus on continuing her mother's legacy. But Nick Gordon wasn't happy about this decision. Nick didn't want her close to anyone because he knew that as soon as Chrissy left, everything would have been done for him, reveals a friend of Bobbi Kristina. She was even supposed to meet up with a friend the same day she was found in that tub to let her friend know that Nick wasn't the man she thought he was. The day she planned to tell Nick about moving, an argument allegedly ensued. They argued, and Nick attacked her, and then left her alone in the room, says an insider. That's why she had bruises, allegedly. The complaint claimed that Gordon gave Bobbi Kristina a toxic cocktail that rendered her unconscious before placing her face down in the bathtub, eerily similar to how her mother was found. Nick Gordon himself died on January 1st, 2020, from a overdose, taking whatever secrets he may have had to his grave. But many believe he wasn't acting alone. That's where the story takes an even darker turn. Industry insiders are whispering that there's more to this story. Much more. It wasn't just Nick Gordon involved, but powerful figures in the music industry who may have orchestrated both deaths to silence Whitney and prevent Bobbi Kristina from exposing dark secrets. I also know that I have heard a lot about how she was present in many of her mom's arguments with people like Clive, reveals one source close to the family. It's Grammy time that happened, and her and Clive had a fight 2 days before. From what I was told, Bobbi Kristina was present for some of that fight, and then the next thing you know, she's dead. The eerie similarities between Whitney and Bobbi Kristina's deaths have always raised eyebrows. Both were found unresponsive in bathtubs. Whitney was discovered at the Beverly Hilton Hotel on February 11, 2012, while Bobbi Kristina was found in her Georgia home on January 31, 2015, almost exactly 3 years later. Whitney Houston died at the age of 48, and the coroner ruled her death as accidental drowning with heart disease and use as contributing factors. Her daughter lingered in a coma for months before passing away on July 26, 2015, at the age of 22, with the cause listed as immersion in water and. What's raising serious questions is Clive Davis's behavior immediately following Whitney's death. Grammy-winning artist Chaka Khan was visibly disturbed during an appearance on Larry King Live, when asked about Clive continuing his pre-Grammy party at the same hotel while Whitney's body remained in the building. "I will never forget Chaka Khan's face," recalls an industry veteran. She was filled with grief, disbelief, and devastation at the disrespect and cold-heartedness of it. The industry is not for the faint of heart. Leola Brown, Bobbi's sister, has been vocal about her suspicions. Since Whitney's passing, "I saw Ray J coming out of the hotel hiding his head, being pushed into the car. Why?" I looked and I said, "Why is he hiding? Why is he hiding his face? He's always trying to show his face when he's around Whitney. Why now? Why are you trying to hide now?" She continued, "I put it all together. When I first heard she passed away, I said, 'My God, somebody gave her a bad bag.' Yes, I promise you that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then I saw Ray J, and it all added up." Jaguar Wright, a singer known for speaking out against industry corruption, has made shocking claims about Whitney's final days. Leola Brown, Bobbi Brown's sister, has said on several occasions that she was beaten. "They saw her body. She didn't just die in a tub, like she was beat up," Wright asserted in an interview. One of the most suspicious incidents occurred just days before Whitney's death, when she crashed an interview with Brandy, Monica, and Clive Davis. With wet hair and appearing distressed, Whitney interrupted the interview to pass a note to Brandy, Ray J's sister. To this day, Brandy refuses to reveal what was in that note. "I'm going to just not say what it was and keep it to myself for my own personal reasons," she stated in a subsequent interview. Many believe Whitney gave the note to Brandy on camera deliberately, in case something happened to her. "That clip of Whitney was a warning," exclaims one viewer. "She came out with wet hair saying she nearly drowned. She looked panicked. And it is suspect the way that she made her daughter come up and say, 'hello' or whatever, to Uncle Clive. I believe she was humanizing herself to keep herself alive." If you listen carefully to the footage, you can hear Whitney say, "I nearly drowned today." Was this a cry for help that went unheeded? The plot thickens with allegations that Bobbi Kristina had knowledge of what really happened to her mother. What exactly did Chrissy know about her mom's death? Was it related to her own death? Asks one commentator. "Damn right they killed that baby because she was the one heir to her mom's fortune, and the higher-up wasn't about to let that slide," comments one observer. Others add, "Both mom and daughter were murdered, and the bad thing is they still walking around." The role of Clive Davis, the powerful music executive who helped shape Whitney's career, has come under increasing scrutiny. "Clive Davis should be investigated," demands one commenter, while another states bluntly, "They were both murdered by Clive Davis." Whitney tried to move away from Clive. Her mistake was going back to him, suggests one industry insider. The strange timing of her death, during Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party, strikes many as no coincidence. The toxicology reports for both Whitney and Bobbi Kristina revealed the presence of, but many question whether these were deliberately administered. In Whitney's case, the coroner noted that there wasn't enough water in her lungs to prove drowning, suggesting she may have been placed in the bathtub after death. Pat Houstin, Whitney's sister-in-law and the executor of her estate, has also come under suspicion. "Pat Houstin starved her in hospice," alleges one commenter. Another adds, "Nick did not." Point fingers at Pat Houstin and her family. Jaguar Wright's accusations about Clive Davis and his protege Diddy are even more explosive. "My focus right now is Sean Combs because he's a trafficker, most likely because he was victimized by his mentor Clive Davis. Clive run him. Diddy don't run himself," Wright claims, suggesting that Clive Davis taught Diddy everything he knows about exploiting people in the industry. The music executive, who came out as 2013 memoir at the age of 80, has been connected to numerous music industry tragedies. Clive was a manager of several 27-year-old club members, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, points out one commenter. "Listening to Clive speak puts such unease on my soul. I rebuke that demon in Jesus' precious name," says another viewer. The financial motive becomes clearer when you follow the money. With Bobbi Kristina's death, Whitney's estate would be handled differently than if her daughter had lived. "How convenient that with Bobbi dead, anyone can go after Whitney's estate," notes one observer. "If Bobbi was still alive, she'd be the sole inheritance. This was clearly done because you are worth more dead than alive, and they wouldn't be able to jack up Whitney's album prices with her daughter alive to object to it." "The industry has devils running the show," states another commenter bluntly. And whenever they're ready to take somebody out, they do. The tragedy doesn't end with Whitney and Bobbi Kristina. There are disturbing parallels to other suspicious deaths in the music industry, including Michael Jackson, Prince, and most recently, Angie Stone. Angie Stone just had a fatal crash just after accusations of theft. It's no way these are isolated incidents surrounding the same man Clive, points out one commenter, drawing connections between these tragedies. Top 10 suspicious deaths. There's more but can't think of them right now. But whoever spoke out about the industry passed over. 1. Whitney Houston. 2. Bobbi Kristina. 3. George Michael. 4. Michael Jackson. 5. David Bowie. 6. Prince. 7. Kim Porter. 8. Aaron Carter. 9. Liam Payne. 10. Brittany Murphy, lists another observer. The pattern is clear. Artists who speak out against the industry, particularly those who challenge the power structures or demand their rightful royalties, often meet tragic ends. I'm starting to question a lot of the heart attack past, admits one viewer. Jaguar Wright has pointed out that many of the original members of Uptown Records have died under suspicious circumstances. Uptown Records started with 5 people: Andre Harrell, Al B. Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy, and Kim was the longest working employee. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. When asked what they all had in common, Wright reveals, the survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Some see the recent expose of Diddy as just the tip of the iceberg. If Diddy is the monster, then Davis is his Frankenstein, declares one commenter. Stop focusing on Diddy. Focus on Clive before he leaves the earth, urges another. They should reopen the Whitney Houston case. Somebody needs to go to jail. Many believe that divine justice will eventually prevail, even if human justice fails. Some people think they can get away with doing bad things to others. God is not stupid, affirms one commenter. Another adds, now y'all see what's done in the dark will come to the light. The wicked have gone too far for too long, states yet another. God, the wicked have gone too far for too long. As Bobbi Brown continues to speak out, demanding justice for Whitney and Bobbi Kristina, the question remains, will the powerful figures allegedly responsible ever be held accountable? Or will they, like so many before them, continue to operate with impunity, protected by the vast network of influence and money that shields the music industry's darkest secrets? We are fighting a spiritual warfare, concludes one commenter, echoing the sentiments of many who believe that what happened to Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina Brown goes far beyond a simple accident. It's a battle between good and evil, truth and lies, justice and corruption. And as Bobbi Brown finally breaks his silence, the world is listening and demanding answers. Do you believe Bobbi Brown's claims? Is there more to this story than we've been told? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe, because we are uncovering more industry secrets that they don't want you to hear.